The Department of Public Health and Human Services is pleased to bring you Aging Horizons. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, fraud, legal issues, veterans benefits, and caregiving. Aging Horizons is a program dedicated to inform and prepare Montanans on these timely issues, making a difference to you and your loved ones. Here now is today's program host.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Aging Horizons. Today we have a great guest with us, and she will be talking about wild smoke for seniors. She'll be talking about what you need to do to prevent it, what you need to do during the event, and also information about caregivers. So stay tuned and we will be right back.
You've probably seen some big-name celebrities on your TV lately talking about all the Medicare benefits you're missing out on. But the insurance companies who are paying for these ads may be pushing benefits not available in Montana. Fortunately, help is available from a friendly state health insurance assistance program counselor who can help you sort it all out. It's free, and we screen everyone for eligibility regardless of your zip code. It's Montanans helping Montanans. Call today.
Medicare loses $60 million in Montana each year, $70 billion nationally. Medicare processes 4.5 million claims a day. They don't know who your doctor is, but you do. Mistakes can happen. Read your Medicare statements and call Montana Senior Medicare Patrol if you see anything unexpected. 1-800-551-3191. This project is supported by a grant by the Administration for Community Living.
Here in Montana, we love our outdoor activities. Unfortunately, few of them are risk-free. Indeed, Montana is second in the nation per capita in head injuries that can destroy the lives of people we love. That's why you should insist your family always wear protective helmets. But you can do even more. When you fill out your vehicle registration this year, circle the Y and donate $1 to support traumatic brain injury prevention and education. Now that's using the old noggin.
Hey caregivers, did you know that respite time is your time? How will you spend it?
How about some good old-fashioned me time for starters?
Michelle Smith, Helena.
Or maybe play a high-stakes game of volleyball with my other kiddo. Gotta teach him who's boss, you know. I could even make my famous spinach lasagna. Never hear any complaints about that.
Montana Lifespan Respite. Respite for caregivers. It's okay to need it. It's okay to want it. It's okay to get it.
Hey Mom, more lasagna please?
Hello and welcome to Aging Horizons. This is a program brought to you by the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services. Today we'll be talking about wildfire smoke for seniors, and we have a special guest, Mary Anderson. She is the coordinator for wildfire smoke for seniors. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So tell us, what do you do? What are some of your duties?
So I get asked this all the time because people are really familiar with the dangers of wildfire, but we're really just figuring out wildfire smoke. So I kind of want to back up a little bit and talk a little bit about wildfire, just because that's how my job came into be.
You bet.
So we, as a nation and as the world, we went through 100 years of wildfire suppression. So whenever there was a wildfire, all through the 1900s, we tried to put it out. And what we learned was that we just developed more fuel for fires. And another thing that had happened is that as those trees grew, it was harder for water to get to the ground. So we keep talking about drought conditions and we keep talking about how hot it is. And people say, my gosh, we got so much snow last year. But what happens is in those really heavily forested areas, that snow gets caught in the trees. If you can't see through the trees, they're too thick. And so when it gets caught up there, it evaporates. So what they're doing now with wildfires, when they can, is letting some of that fuel burn to protect us so we don't have a bigger event later on. So the problem is that in Montana, we're doing that. Washington, Oregon, California, Canada, everyone is doing that. And all of that smoke ends up in Montana. So we had this danger of wildfires, which we're all prepared for. And then now we're figuring out there's actually some short and long-term health effects because of the wildfire smoke too. So my job is to say there's not always something we can do about the wildfires, but there's some things we can do to protect ourselves from wildfire smoke, and my job is to get that information out.
So what are some of, I know health officials are very concerned, but what are some of those concerns in recent years?
So wildfire smoke is really kind of a new field. And what they've figured out is that the wildfire smoke, they always knew there was a lot of toxic chemicals in it. But what they figured out is the biggest danger for wildfire smoke is the size of the smoke particle. It has a particle that's a quarter the size of a dust particle. So really small. So what happens is with dust, you know how your eyes get itchy or you start coughing? Well, a lot of times that'll get caught in your throat because the particles are big enough they can't make it down to your lungs. With wildfire smoke particles, that PM 2.5 is what they call it. It is so small that it goes right down into your lungs and can get into your bloodstream. And so as they figured that out, they thought, oh, we've got to do some more research about what's happening when, obviously inflammation, right? Coughing. But actually in Montana, in 2017, I don't know, were you here then during that Seeley Lake fire, the fire that lasted forever? Okay, so that fire, everybody in the nation was watching that fire because we had 49 days of unhealthy air up in Seeley. And so the EPA actually asked some researchers from Montana to go in afterwards. And they had them look at, they got 95 participants, and they had them look at them after that wildfire smoke event. So it ended in September, they went in October. These were healthy people before this fire. And they said, let's look at your lung capacity, knowing that it would have dropped, right? So they did, and then, and obviously it had dropped considerably. So they said, this is our chance to do a longitudinal study. So they went back in 2018 to see how much gains had been made, and that lung capacity actually deteriorated again. And so the same in 2019. So what they saw was that it's not just short term. We've really got to look at wildfire smoke now as something that's going to continue to affect us.
Okay. Wow. That's some good information there, Mary.
That's a lot of information.
So what is the most reliable way to obtain current air quality information? How do we obtain current air quality information?
This is a really good question because right now there's a lot of apps out there that say, oh, we're giving you air quality information. And so we really recommend people go to the ones that are that have the EPA conversion charts. And so for us, the Montana site is Montana Today's Air. And that site is operated through Montana DEQ. Now there's also a national site that has more monitors. So it's the same quality, you're getting the same information, but fire.airnow.gov, that is the best site to go to just because there's more monitors. You'll have a chance of finding a monitor closer to your house. Both sites give information about the trends of air quality because air quality changes throughout the day. So you can figure out a time that you maybe can get outside if you want to. They also both will give you some information about forecasting, you know, what to expect. But that fire.airnow.gov, that site actually just has more monitors. So you can usually find a site closer.
Fire.airnow.gov. Fire.airnow.gov.
Yeah.
That's the site we need to go to get that kind of information you're talking about.
It also will show you where the fires are.
Okay.
On that
It'll
site.
give you that kind of information also.
Yeah.
Great, great, great. So we have so much more information for you. Get your coffee and stay tuned because we will be right back with more information, and we're talking to Mayor Anderson.
Every 65 seconds, someone is affected with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Many become isolated at a time when help is most needed. If you or someone you love is affected, help is available, both for people with memory loss and their caregivers. Memory loss can feel frightening, but you are not alone. Call the free 24/7 Alzheimer's Association helpline, 800-272-3900, for guidance and support.
Elder abuse is a growing problem, and it's happening right here in our Montana communities. At least 1 in 10 older adults are victims of physical or emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or neglect. To get help or report elder abuse, call your local area agency on aging or Adult Protective Services at 1-844-277-9300.
Today, class, we'll be discussing the term ombudsman, a word we borrowed from the Swedes and never gave back. Say you're a resident or you have a loved one in long-term care. Now, what do you do if you're not happy with the care and services you receive? You call your long-term care ombudsman, of course. Your ombudsman is available to support you and your rights. An advocate on your behalf could be the ticket. This is your home. If you have questions, the numbers right there below me have all the answers. Class dismissed.
I was angry and upset when the doctor told me I have diabetes. I just didn't want to deal with it, the needles and the diet restrictions. But after I started to learn about it, those feelings changed. I was at risk for a heart attack caused by high blood sugar. That got my attention. I started watching my diet and making sure I got enough exercise every day. I want to be around for my grandkids, and now that I know what to do, it seems like a small price to pay.
Ask your doctor about diabetes education or visit montana211.org.
Hello, and we're back. Welcome to Aging Horizons. I'm your host, Wilma Cullins. Today we're talking about wildfire smoke and how to prevent it. We have Mary Anderson with us. Mary, welcome back.
Thank you.
So tell us, how are you funded?
So we actually received a grant last year. I work under the Chronic Disease and Prevention of Montana DPHHS.
Mm-hmm.
And so we received a grant last year called the Wildfire Smoking Community Buildings Grant.
Okay.
And so that's through the EPA. And what they did was they found 9 sites that are heavily impacted by wildfire smoke. And they're looking at what do we do in our buildings? How do we protect people, and where can they go?
Right.
And so so my grant, what we said is that we would do 3 things in Montana. The first thing is just to provide outreach and educational materials to everybody. So
Okay.
throughout the state, I've developed our website is Smoke from Fire's website at Montana DPHHS. All of my resources are on that site. So there's a lot of materials there. The second thing we did was a lot of times community buildings and schools, when we talk about them about protecting their people from wildfire smoke, they talk about the fact that we can bring them inside, but there's not a lot we can do. We can't afford a new HVAC system.
Right.
We don't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually do trainings for HVAC professionals and for community managers where they can learn ways to mitigate wildfire smoke, and there's a lot of different things they can do that don't cost money. So we try to make sure we get that information out to them to protect our kids and to protect seniors who are in nursing homes and assisted living centers. We also, the last part is the most exciting part. We actually are doing some clean air centers. We're piloting those this year in Ravalli and Missoula County, and then we'll extend that to 4 more communities next year.
Great.
And what we're learning is how do we take existing buildings in a community and provide clean air for them so it's places for people to go.
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
And
that's nice.
Yeah. We've been really lucky because we've been able to partner with libraries, which is a place where anybody could go and they can get internet. There's things for them to do there. Our libraries are actually doing activities like how to make a box fan filter. They're doing, we're using them, and then we're also using senior centers.
Right.
So the Missoula Senior Center in Missoula actually serves lunch to about 150 people a day. And it's an older building. And we've discovered a way that we hope is going to provide clean air in that building. So when people go in there, they'll have a break from that wildfire smoke.
Great. So what makes wildfire smoke so harmful for our seniors?
So we talked a little bit about that particle already, you know how
Right.
small that particle is. Well, the problem is that just like it can get into your body, it can get into your home as well. So they say like within 24 hours, your home is going to be as unhealthy as the outdoors if you're not doing anything different.
Right.
So then when you look at most seniors, what we think about is they say what 65% of them have 2 or more chronic conditions.
Right.
So a heart condition or a lung condition or diabetes, maybe they're a survivor of cancer. So their bodies are already pretty vulnerable. And even if you didn't, you're just taking in more breaths. The older you are, the more breaths you're taking in during the day, which means you're breathing in more PM 2.5.
Right.
So we really need to make sure we're taking care of those populations and just making sure that they know that there are some things that they should be doing differently during wildfire smoke season.
So what should people do before a wildfire smoke season to prepare for its effects?
So there's a lot of things we can do. In fact, next week is Wildfire Smoke Preparedness Week, so that's July 13th through the 19th. And so this, I'm not sure if that'll work with this timeline, but we recommend 4 easy things to do. So the first one is to bookmark that air quality site. So make sure you bookmark fire.airnow.gov and sign up for alerts. So every county has emergency alerts that you can sign up for. And so we say sign up for that alert. And then there's another alert. The Montana DEQ has an alert they do every single morning. It's already started. It's a wildfire smoke forecast. So you can know for the next week when to expect wildfire smoke with the current conditions. Obviously, you know, it'll say there's fires in California, the air is coming this way. And so those are 2 really good things. The next thing is to make sure you have your medications. You want to make sure, especially if you have emergency medications, make sure you have a supply of that and that you've reached out to your doctor to see if there's anything else you should be doing. And then finally, purchase a HEPA air cleaner. So those HEPA air cleaners that you see in Costco or you see on Amazon, those HEPA air cleaners actually do 4 air exchanges an hour. So they're filtering the air in your room 4 times an hour. So that's really going to help your indoor air stay clean during a wildfire smoke event.
Okay. Thanks for all that information, Mary. You are providing us with so much valuable information. And so I want my audience to get the full picture of everything.
Okay.
So we'll be coming back and we'll be talking about what are some of the simple things seniors can do in their homes to make things better. So you will be addressing that information, right?
I will.
Good. So don't go away. We will be right back. We have so much more valuable information for you. Stay tuned and we will be right back.
I was outside working on some equipment, nothing too strenuous. I started sweating and feeling out of breath.
When he felt pressure in his chest and aching in his arms, I knew we had to call 911.
First responders were there before we knew it. 38 minutes later, the doctors had restored the blood flow to my heart.
Now we know dialing 911 saved his life.
Your life is on the line.
This message sponsored by Mission Lifeline Montana.
Out here, we love our animals, from the wildlife to the livestock. Inside, it's the same. They're just like family. We keep them happy and healthy, most of the time. Secondhand smoke puts pets at risk for cancer, feline lymphoma, vomiting, increases the risk of tumors and lung cancer. even causes eye and skin disease. Secondhand smoke puts your pet's life at risk.
Did you just text me?
I didn't want to disturb you if you were sleeping.
Sleeping? I'm sitting right next to you, silly.
There you are. Hey, I found a couple of Medicare helping programs online that I think we ought to look into.
It says if we qualify, we can get help paying for our prescription drugs. Oh, and there's a program that can help pay our Part B premium.
To learn more about extra help and Medicare savings programs, call your local SHIP counselor today.
Maybe I better text him.
Hey, caregivers, did you know that respite time is your time? How will you spend it?
There's so much I want to do, like researching family history.
Sandra Gaskin, Bozeman.
And this time of year, there's never enough time to keep up with my garden. But what I really love to do with my respite time is to work on my latest quilting project.
Montana Lifespan Respite. Respite for caregivers. It's okay to need it. It's okay to want it. It's okay to get it.
It's so fulfilling when all the pieces come together.
We're back, and we are continuing our discussion with Mary Anderson. Mary, tell us, what are some of the simple things seniors can do in their homes to keep the air clean and stay healthy during wildfire smoke event?
So we call an event anytime the air is unhealthy for more than 24 hours.
Okay.
So you're going to be inside already. If you look outside or if you look at your monitor and see that the air is unhealthy, then you're going to want to stay inside. And but it's important to know that your indoor air gets unhealthy as well. The reason we tell people still to come inside is because a lot of times you're less active when you're inside, so you're not breathing as much, and there's so many things we can do. So the first thing we tell everybody is make sure you keep your doors and windows shut, which that sounds, of course you would do that, right? But sometimes we need to remind people. And so, and especially if you're in a building where people want to open the doors or hold the doors open for people or, you know, prop them open, don't do that during a wildfire smoke event. I already talked a little bit about the HEPA air cleaner, and those things are really, really important for clean air. Some people will say, I can't afford one. So what you can do is take a box fan, just a simple box fan, and put a MERV 13 filter on that.
Okay.
Those, that's actually on our website. You can see how to do that. But that will also filter your air. And what you're thinking about during that time is, what is a room that I can use? Because I'm probably not going to be able to filter my whole house. So keep that in a room. Keep that in a room and run that, same with your HEPA air cleaner, and then move that into your bedroom at night. And then finally, if you have air conditioning, make sure you turn your air conditioning on to recirculate so you're not bringing in that fresh air. So those are really, really important things. The other thing that people don't think about as much is stovetop cooking also produces PM 2.5. So avoid using your stove, don't burn candles. Even vacuuming will, if you're vacuuming your carpet, that's going to bring that PM 2.5 up into the air. So wait until after a smoke event to vacuum, and then, you know, have your windows open to get that out.
Wow, thanks. That is good information. Oftentimes, extreme heat and wildfire smoke come at the same time.
Right.
So how should I respond to something like that? I got heat, I got the smoke. How do I respond?
Well, that's a big question, especially in Montana, because our hottest months are also our wildfire smoke months.
Right.
And so it's really, really important that people think about what is my immediate danger. And the thing that is going to be the most immediate is the heat. So we always say, if you have to decide between the two, prioritize taking care of that heat. So at night, even if the air quality is still not where it should be, open your windows and get some cooler air in, then shut them and start your HEPA air filter again. Take some cold showers during that time. The other thing is to think about in your community, where can you go that has air-conditioned air? And so if it's the library in some of our rural communities, that's it.
Yes.
Or a community center.
Right.
Take a break from that air. So be thinking about where you could go beyond your house. It may be out to dinner that night, you know, but go someplace where the air is air conditioned.
Wow, that is good. That is good. Okay, where should people go for more information? Because I know you mentioned some of your sites already.
Right.
Where could we go for more information about resources in our communities?
So we always say start with your county health department. They should know the resources that are available, and there's some really good ones out in the state. A lot of the counties actually have a HEPA air cleaner distribution or loan program where they will give HEPA air cleaners out for the wildfire smoke season. They also may know about non-government organizations that provide that. Ravalli County is helping seniors by giving out box fan filters. And so talk to your local health department because they'll know. If they don't, then visit our site or just email me and we will find some resources close to you. It's just really important that people understand there's always something you can do. There's something we can do. And also, I think the other thing is just make sure you have somebody else who knows during a wildfire smoke event to check in on you. So make sure your caregiver, if you work with a nurse educator, or even if you have a son or daughter or friend, neighbor in the area, have them checking on you during that event, just so we know that if something happens, that you have somebody to reach out to.
So I know you said go to our website, but that website is very important. So would you repeat that website again for us?
Sure. So our website, it's the Montana DPHHS airquality.mt.gov, and then there's a backslash and it's smoke from fires.
Okay.
If you go to airquality.mt.gov, you can see the link and click on that as well.
Great. Okay. Quickly, let's run through this quickly.
Okay.
What if I'm in a community that does not have local resources? What do I do?
Then reach out to us. Because our job is, I'm working mostly with those 6 communities. However, I've also had Eastern Montana ask me for resources. I've had some other places reach out to me, and I have time.
Good.
So if you're in a community that needs help and needs some resources, let me know. And just email me, airquality at mt.gov, and I will get back to you and we'll figure some things out.
Wow. That is great, Mary. Thank you so much. And I hope my audience is listening to all this information because it's valuable information for them. I want to thank you so much, Mary, for joining us on Aging Horizon. I'm your host, Wilma Collins, and we will be back next week for more information on Aging Horizons.
Special thanks to the Department of Public Health and Human Services for their continued support. Hosts on Aging Horizons are program specialists at the Montana Office on Aging. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions. For more information about Aging Horizons, call the Department of Public Health and Human Services toll-free at 800-332-2272.